Poco's 2023 X-range phones are here, and the cheaper of the pair is the Poco X5 5G, retailing for just under $259. Launched alongside the Poco X5 Pro, this phone comes with a dazzling 120Hz AMOLED display, a 5000 mAh battery capacity, and a 48-megapixel main camera. Among other key specs is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 chipset and an IP53 certification. But is the Poco X5 a really good value for money in 2023, considering its place in the highly competitive mid-range space? Well, many thanks for Poco for sending this over. I've actually used this device for a couple of days, and here is my 2-cent opinion of the Poco X5 5G. Now, the Poco X5 5G does not officially retail in Nigeria, but you can pick up one from AliExpress for a selling price of $259, depending on the current exchange rate. At first glance, the Poco X5 comes with an understated yet sleek finish, a welcome relief from the days when Poco used to blaze its logo on the entire rear panel. It's 7.98mm thick and weighs just about 189 grams, so it's relatively slim and doesn't feel heavy for one-hand usage. It comes in either blue, green or black, which I have here. Along with the sleek-looking device itself, you'll be getting a 33W fast charging brick instead of a 67W charger that belongs to the Pro variant, a USB-C to A data cable, your regular SIM tray ejector tool, a free TPU case to protect the device at first, and of course, the user manuals. Heading over to the first thing we all look out for in a smartphone, the Poco X5 is made from plastic with a Corning Gorilla Glass 3 at the front. The slightly metallic finish catches the light well, but is prone to picking up fingerprints and smudges throughout the day, leaving you to always want to clean it off at every instance if you prefer to use your device without a protective case. On the plus side, it is less susceptible to scratches or damage than a phone with a glass rear. Plus, it comes with an IP53 rating, which means it is also protected from some dust and light water splashes, but it is not 100% waterproof. The Poco logo is still present, just tucked away more neatly adjacent to the camera bump. As to the exterior features, underneath the Poco X5 is a mono speaker, which I'll talk about in a bit, a USB-C port for charging, and a primary microphone. Up here is a 3.5 headphone jack, which is very nice to see, the primary microphone, and of course the Xiaomi's usual IR blaster. On the left side of the plastic frame is a dual SIM slot, which can either be used for 2 nano SIMs or 1 SIM and a micro SD card. While on the right side is a click volume rockers and a side-mounted fingerprint scanner on the power button, which I found to be largely reliable. It is fast, well placed, and does its job pretty well, so no complaints here. Moving on to the display department, you are looking at a dazzling 6.67-inch Full HD AMOLED display protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3. It also comes with DCI-P3 wide color gamut and a peak brightness of 1200 nits. The colors are vivid and bright and is great for streaming contents on YouTube or Netflix and also browsing through images. It certainly doesn't feel like a lower mid-range phone in this regard. Poco also offers an adjustable color temperature option on the display to suit your preferences, though the default setting is pretty good enough. There is a refresh rate of up to 120Hz, but you can also opt for 60Hz if you are looking to conserve the battery. This is combined with a touch sampling rate of up to 240Hz, resulting in quick and responsive navigation both when scrolling social media and doing some light gaming. Many other mid-rangers sacrifice a high refresh rate, so this is a big plus for the Poco X5. Using this device outdoor under bright sunlight was also good enough, as I didn't have to strain to see contents from screen clearly. Now back to the single firing speaker located under the device is not good enough if you ask me. Sound coming out from it is on the weak and tinny side, and the lack of audio processing software means that music will lack in bass and depth, which is so on my experience. Though from a phone of this price point, premium audio is a luxury. The Poco X5 5G runs on a Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 chip, the same processor seen on the Poco X4 Pro. You can pair this with either 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, or 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, which I have here. The additional micro SD card slot can extend internal storage up to 1TB, which is absolutely more than enough. In overall, this phone has a capable performance. I use it for social media, YouTube, gaming and general browsing, and it handles everything perfectly well. However, the Snapdragon 695 processor is fairly old. Like other Poco X devices, it is capable of some gaming, but don't be expecting the highest levels of performance from heavy titles like Genshin Impact. In terms of everyday usage, it handles things perfectly well without hiccups. By today's standard, this isn't the quickest charging device. Phones from the likes of Realme and Oppo certainly offer speedier charging bricks. The included 33W charging brick will take you from 0 to 58% in just 30 minutes, with full charge taking around an hour. This is still enough, unlike getting a device without a charger. Whatever the X5 lacks in super speeding charging is made up for with that big 5000 mAh battery. Even when running the refresh rate on 120Hz, I was able to use it for roughly around 2 days, doing casual stuff and a little of gaming. Moving on to the camera department, the Poco X5 comes with a triple red snapper led by a 48 megapixel main camera, accompanied by an 8 megapixel wide angle with a 118-degree field of view, as well as a 2 megapixel macro lens. Let's focus on the main camera since that's what you'll be using most of the time. Interestingly, it can produce sharp and detailed images on shot taken outdoors with good lighting conditions. And colors doesn't look oversaturated or washed out as you may find on other devices of a similar price. Like other Xiaomi's phone, the Poco X5 uses pixel binding technology. Snaps do look good both when using the full 48 megapixel primary sensor and when taking photos on the standard mode, which are condensed down to a 12 megapixel output. Okay guys, so this is what you basically be getting from the 13 megapixel selfie of the Poco X5 5G, shooting at 1080 30 fps. I really think Poco should have opted in for 16 megapixel just like they did with the Pro variant of the X5. So what are your thoughts on this selfie camera? What do you observe as well as the sound picking up from the mic of the device? Does it suit your need? For me, I would say it's still okay, and it's okay for video calls, but I'm really not liking what I'm seeing. The selfie camera doesn't look that good enough for my liking in 2023. So what are your observations? What do you think? Let me know from the comment section down below. As to the videography aspect, you are getting a 720p at 60 fps or 1080p at 30 fps shooting mode. However, there is no auto-stabilization software present, so beware if you have shaking hands. On the software front, you are getting MIUI 13 Android 12. I particularly frown at the fact that the Poco X5 5G came with Android 12 out of the box instead of the latest Android 13 OS, and as at the time of making this review, no news as to how many years of security patch and software updates are promised for the Poco X5 5G. There is no denying that once again Poco has produced an affordable phone for the price with a solid build, a big battery life and an impressive display and a decent main camera in daylight. The biggest downfall is that the Poco X4 Pro still trumps this phone in terms of value for money. Nonetheless, you'll still be getting bang for your buck with the Poco X5 if you want the latest model, or you can opt in for the Pro variant which will cost you extra money. This is where I come to the end of my 2-cent opinion of the Poco X5 5G. Thanks for watching guys, and also don't forget to subscribe. See you when next you see me.